In 1943, the following directive was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States. It read, "When certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable build-ups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind. When certain obstructionists become too irritating..."
So we should think about this in terms of the design, organizational design of government. Now, part of the genius of the American system of government is that it recognizes a human tendency to try to consolidate power.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable build-ups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic.
With conspiracy theories, all of this is rooted in anti-Semitic tropes.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating...
I will start by reading the last sentence of the Huntington Beach preamble here. "It is incumbent upon those who govern and make decisions for and on behalf of the city of Huntington Beach to legally as well as morally abide by the provisions of this chapter in its strictest sense to ensure the continued success and well-being of our fair city." Now, honestly, do you really believe that you are acting in the strictest sense by legally deceiving and morally bypassing our charter? It doesn't make any sense.
Label them after suitable build-ups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic.
The fact that anti-Semitism manifests itself in conspiracy theories and tropes is not something that I had given a lot of thought to before we talked about that at that conference.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating...
So they're not maybe coming up with ideas, conspiracies, honestly, about how we're running things.
Instead, as I mentioned 2 weeks ago, they're using lawfare and legalese to add language to our city charter that allows the council to hire outside attorneys outside of the purview of the elected city attorney's office, which our charter currently prohibits.
Label them after suitable build-ups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic.
Disinformation and extremism is really kind of rooted in anti-Semitism.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating...
Together we were able to explain to so many people your real intentions and motivations. What we did was incredibly hard work, but every single contact, every single conversation we had will be so useful in this coming election.
With conspiracy theories, all of this is rooted in anti-Semitic tropes.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating...
Now we're here fighting for our charter. I'm asking you, do not make any amendments. I'm sure you guys are very well aware that we just don't trust you guys.
The fact that anti-Semitism manifests itself in conspiracy theories and tropes is not something that I had given a lot of thought to before.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating...
And like our national fathers designed our Constitution and everything, there's a separation of powers. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Once you get a little bit of power, a human tendency is let's try to use that power not just to do what we're supposed to do, but to consolidate more power. So our system always has been praised for incorporating a system of checks and balances.
With conspiracy theories, all of this is rooted in anti-Semitic tropes.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating...
Well, good evening. Sorry to be the buzzkill, but somebody's got to be a watchdog in this city. The city council majority, minus Mr. Peterson, violated our city charter, circumvented our elected city attorney, illegally hired outside counsel. So what is this agenda? You're trying to absolve yourselves of illegal actions by voting that it's okay? Sadly, given the relationship that Kalmick, Carr, and Mosier have with the recently arrested Melahat Rafai, your political consultant, and her criminal activities surrounding the cannabis industry, I think perhaps rather than y'all putting this on a ballot measure, you ought to be under investigation by the FBI with your friend Melahat.
So keep it up. And just maybe one day you will hear this. You are all under arrest for conspiracy against we, the people of Huntington Beach and America. You have the right to remain silent. If you do say anything, what you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to a lawyer and have that lawyer present during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. Do you understand the rights that I have told you? May God bless Huntington Beach and the United States of America. Skywalker over and out.
And use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them.
I also attended the anti-Semitism Driving Out Darkness presented by the Jewish Federation of Orange County. And it is, abundantly clear that anti-Semitism is on a rise here, not just in Orange County, but globally.
And use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them.
I'm Peter Levy. I'm the Regional Director for the Anti-Defamation League in Orange County. We fight bigotry, bias, bullying, and hatred in all its forms, and whether or not it was even known about Vandermark's associations, affiliations, friendships, and the information she shared. But now that it has become known, the ADL wrote a letter. You received it. We don't always write letters.
E pluribus unum. The left reacted apoplectic after the election. There was a concerted effort to attack, vilify, and dehumanize the conservative views. Antifa organized attacks against conservative speakers. Antifa organized attacks against conservative speakers. And the illiberal left has become increasingly intolerant. Of diverse viewpoints.
Label them, after suitable buildups, as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic.
It has come to my attention that an individual whom the City Council has appointed as a commissioner is an associate of a number of very extremist groups, and this individual has posted material on the internet that one could fairly describe as anti-Semitic, as Islamophobic, and as racist.
We are now at a point where promoting legal immigration is considered racist. Researching how religion is implemented into our school curriculum is considered Islamophobic. Promoting the rule of law is considered bigoted. Waving the American flag is considered white supremacy.
I do not want officials and policymakers of my local government to reflect a view of racial intolerance or anti-Semitism.
How did we get to this place? To the point where my words have been attacked and twisted so viciously by the left in an attempt to remove me from a position they are threatened by due to ideological differences.
In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell.
Do you believe that a representative of the City Commission should publicly be denying the Holocaust and posting that it is a hoax?
I do not, nor have I ever denied the Holocaust. I am not anti-Semitic. I believe in researching and hearing both sides so I can develop an informed opinion.
I'm concerned that she said that Jews were using colored people as their muscle.
Which is why I attended a meeting about white privilege, where I was physically assaulted for questioning their motives. The event was attended by people of various races. When asked to describe what happened, I described as best I could using terminology spoken at the event. I consider myself to be a colored person. I am not offended by the term.
I'm concerned that she said that Jews were using colored people as their muscle.
The NAACP, National Association of Advancement of Colored People, continue to use the term today. In my opinion, all people of all colors should be accepted.
I ask you, do you accept that? I don't.
All political sides should be accepted, but remain neutral at schools and universities.
I ask you, do you accept that? I don't.
School boards should be nonpartisan. History should be taught based on facts.
I ask you, do you accept that? I don't.
Religion should be taught giving each faith equal amount of time, instruction that should never be taught in a way that encourages one religion over another.
I ask you, do you accept that? I don't.
Fact-based only.
I ask you, do you accept that? I don't.
My goal is that we teach our children to hear all sides, encourage a dialogue, and get away from attacking facts and attacking those who do research.
I ask you, do you accept that? I don't.
The truth is not offensive. It's just the plain truth.
I ask you, do you accept that? I don't.
In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell.
But as we see the divisiveness in our culture with bigotry, with hatred, with conspiracy theories, all of this is rooted in anti-Semitic tropes.
Labeling citizens as conspiracy theorists, profiling citizens as spreading disinformation or hate speech, when we are practicing our First Amendment right to address grievances, is an attack on the citizens.
In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind.
My teammates, Gracie Vandermark, Tony Strickland, and Pat Burns commit that if we are lucky enough to earn your vote and be elected to City Council, on day one, we will unleash Michael Gates to use whatever tools still remain to appeal these fraudulent high-density mandates. Thank you, everyone.
Saint Michael.
Who is it?
Saint Michael.
And what did he do?
He cast Satan out of paradise.
Good boy.
My name is Gracie Vandermark, and I will fight to resolve the homeless crisis currently dominating our city.
My name is Casey McKeon. I will fight for our charter to retain local control and stop predatory development.
My name's Tony Strickland. I'll fight Sacramento's overreach and give the power back to the people of Huntington Beach.
My name is Pat Burns. I will fight to support our police and keep Huntington Beach safe for our residents and businesses.
I am a business owner, a former finance and planning commissioner, but most importantly, I am a mother and a grandmother committed to keeping our city safe.
I'm a business owner, former finance commissioner, and third-generation Huntington Beach native committed to protecting the city that I love.
I'm a business owner, finance commissioner, former senator, and assembly member, and I'll hit the ground running for our wonderful city.
I'm a retired police officer and community service commissioner. My life has been committed to service, and I'm willing to fight to protect our quality of life.
I am Gracie Vandermark.
I'm Casey McKeon.
I'm Pat Burns.
I'm Tony Strickland, and we're asking for your vote on November 8th.
Together,
Together,
we will fight to keep Huntington Beach safe
and protect our city.